Years before Abraham Lincoln was president and years before the American Civil War, in a speech in 1838, Lincoln said, quote, "The greatest danger to the nation is coming from within. All the armies of the world cannot crush us, but we could still die by suicide." Cynicism, polarization, and tribalism was tearing apart the recently formed and still very fragile American society. And now today, as we look about, the same exact situation is happening. The greatest danger to our society is coming from within. Our tribalism is paralyzing our society. We practice suspicion or contempt where trust is needed. We scorch our opponents with language that precludes compromise. We refute facts with dogma. We brush aside the possibility that a person with whom we disagree might actually be right. We talk about what divides us and seldom acknowledge what unites us. Contending viewpoints and outspoken dissent are inevitable and not the issue. Serious differences in opinion are essential and not the issue. What's dangerous here is the snarl, the scorn, and the lacerating cynicism it is rooted in. Cynicism is not productive. It is corrosive and destructive. Cynicism offers nothing, no solution, no hope. And in our society today, cynicism has become a virtue signal for courage. Cynicism is not courage, it's cowardice. It's not strength, it's weakness. Cynicism is not being real. It's not realism, it's activism. It's excuse making. It's taking the easy way out. It's giving up. Cynicism fosters a distrust of reality. It provokes a suspicion that hidden, malign forces are at play. It is nothing less than a form of surrender to victimhood, to let yourself off the hook. Cynicism is a way to hide, a way to excuse yourself from action and from your failings. Cynicism is not smart. It's not a sign of intelligence or cognitive ability. It's not sophisticated. It's intellectual cowardice. It's lazy. It's a cop-out. It's a defense mechanism. It's a way to avoid future pain. Cynicism is a self-imposed blindness, a rejection of the world because they are afraid of the world that will hurt them or disappoint them. So instead, it's easier to pass judgment on others, anyone trying to advance the status quo, anyone trying to make a difference. It's easier to ridicule the efforts of others and organizations, those that are working hard under incredibly difficult circumstances, than it is for them to try themselves. It's easier to sneer, jeer, and deride from the sidelines than to step into the arena themselves. As Teddy Roosevelt wrote, the poorest way to face life is to face it with a sneer. There are many men and women who feel a kind of twisted pride in cynicism. There are many who confine themselves to criticism of the way others do what they themselves dare not even attempt. Now, Roosevelt goes on to say, there is no more unhealthy being, no man or woman less worthy of respect than those with readiness to criticize work which the critic themselves never tries to perform. And it is to this lazy critic that Roosevelt famously said, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man or the woman who points out how the strong stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man or woman who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, the one who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, and who, at the worst, if he or she fails, at least fails while daring greatly." My message for you here this morning, my Darren Daily friends, is this: cynics be damned. Never mind your critics, for they do not count. As Jim Rohn would say, let other people live small lives, but not you. Let other people argue over the non-essentials, but not you. Let everybody else cry over small hurts, but not you. Deal in things that matter, the larger challenge, the larger opportunity, and do not be dissuaded by the critic. Do not suffer their disease of cynicism. And as Ayn Rand would finish, in the name of the best within you, do not sacrifice this world for those who are its worst. In the name of the values that you keep alive, do not let your vision of man be distorted by the ugly, the cowardly, the mindless, and those who have never achieved their title. Do not let your fire go out. Spark by irreplaceable spark. In the hopeless swamps of the approximate, the not quite, the not yet, the not at all. Do not let the hero in your soul in the lonely frustration for the life you deserve, but have not been able to reach yet. Check your road and the nature of your battle. The world you desire can be won. It exists. It's real. It's possible. Cynicism be damned.